Hello there, I'm your friendly neighbourhood fangirl and I am a huge Dark Crystal fan. Here to remind you that we are now in our 5th year since the month of September in 2020, when Netflix announced that Age of Resistance would not be receiving a second season. The Dark Crystal was originally introduced to our world in 1982. A cult classic dark fantasy film directed by revolutionary master puppeteers Jim Henson and Frank Oz, with an iconic image crafted by the one and only Brian Froud, acclaimed fairy illustrator and conceptual designer. "37 years later, The Dark Crystal: Age of Resistance, a prequel in the form of a television series, was released on Netflix along with a feature-length documentary that details the extraordinary spectacle of its creation, The Crystal Calls. The show was cancelled by reason of expenses, a niche audience, and the problem of production during a pandemic. But oh, what an achievement. The realm of thaw is rich with creatures, ecosystems, symbols and stories that provide, in my opinion, the best kind of escapism. The kind that inspires me to appreciate and fight for my own planet, just like the gelfling and their friends throughout the ages. On finding the perfect pink and blue fabric in my Opa's attic, I decided that Princess Brea just had to be my final cosplay of 2024. I share her love for reading and collecting knowledge. I admire her quick thinking skills and how she stands up for herself, and her story of finding friendship really resonates with me. She's also one of my favourite Netflix icons. This video will break down every aspect of my Brea costume for you before bringing you along to the photo shoot. For my design stage, I carried out some research on the Vapra clan and gathered my reference images. Brea's official weta workshop figurine is where I found my footing. It was developed from digital scans of the original puppet seen on screen, and they have a whole range of angles on their website, but these three in particular provided me with almost everything that I needed. Fatefully, an image of the crystal shard was the missing piece that restored the balance. My Vapra research led me to this remarkably comprehensive Tumblr post, all about the 7 clans. Here are some relevant notes. The Vapra's high social status as the 𝐶𝐻𝐴𝑃𝑇𝐸𝑅𝑆 ambassadors for the gelfling race provides them with an abundance of resources. Brea's attire reflects the wealth of her clan as well as her position as princess. Living high above the northern mountains, the Vapran wardrobe is well adapted to their environment so they can focus on thriving over surviving. And lastly, light is the core element of the Vapra, and the colours of their garments draw inspiration from the soft shades of the sky. A little bit awkward, our first piece of clothing is actually the least faithful to Brea's design. It's a steel blue long sleeve shirt, vertically ribbed with a simple round neckline that will be hidden come the accessories. This piece came straight out of my wardrobe. This next piece came not so straight out of the soft blue fabric that my Opa let me take back from Germany. I got pretty creative with the shape of this skirt, adding some smaller sections in between the larger ones, but making sure that the longest points never reached lower than mid-calf. Our final piece of clothing is the bodice, and it introduces the embellishment theme of glossy maroon sewing thread and white embroidery thread. The hemline is highlighted, with geometric lines shattering out and across the space, reminiscent of cracked crystal. I attached 2 small pieces to feature that wing-like shape of the neckline, as well as the 2 straps which lend a curved, almost fluttering shape to the shoulders. The bodice is tied with ribbon at the back. Measuring 6.5 centimeters wide at the middle and 5.5 centimeters wide at either end, the belt has 3 additional pieces in the same style as the bodice. 2 of these pieces are attached at the front, and the one on the left sits in front of the one on the right. The final piece gets attached at the back. It has belt loops that the length of the belt can slip through on either side before being pulled tight with ribbon. My favourite part of putting this costume together was sewing all of these lines that you can see. Sewing for decorative purposes is surprisingly soothing and quite fun. This is what the Van braces look like laying flat. For me, they measured 21.5 centimeters down the middle, 24 centimeters across the points, and 14 centimeters across both the bottom edge and the curve. The blue straps are 3.5 centimeters wide and 51.5 centimeters long. They are tied just above the wrist. The pink straps are 3.5 centimeters wide and 65 centimeters long, as each strap is wrapped around the arm once before being tied. The blue are plain while the pink have 3 lines. I completely forgot to cut the curved ends. If you're planning to cosplay Brea yourself, the straps of her vambraces end with a leaf-like point. I made the neck piece with 4 pieces of blue fabric that measure 3.5 centimeters wide and 42 centimeters long. The 2 on either side are attached to each other, and I reinforced the joins at the ends with some sewing close to the hemlines after folding the right length over the left length. The neck piece sits above the neckline of the shirt to create a more angular look and to strengthen the presence of that soft blue in the upper half of the entire look. I love the word ornament, so that's what I've decided to call these beautiful parts of Brea's attire. I made them with some shimmering sand-coloured clay. After baking them in the oven, I actually covered my ornaments with a coat of old pearlescent nail polish to give them that magical shine. I applied a coat of glaze and then attached some safety pins with super glue so my creations can be pinned into place. Brea has light blue stockings with a thin white pattern down the sides. I chose to wear my plain white stockings just as they are. Her boots are grey and reach to just below the knee, my boots are grey and ankle length. I borrowed them from my mother. I found my wings at my city's waste centre. Yes, you heard me, this perfectly gorgeous gossamer looking scarf was waiting for me in the shop beside the literal rubbish dump, and it only has one small stain. I was inspired to find myself a scarf for this cosplay after seeing an Instagram reel showing how, slipped behind straps, they could create a pretty pair of wings. I'm pretty happy that the one part of this cosplay that I've bought brand new is the crystal. It isn't the same shape or size as the crystal shard in the dark crystal, but it's just so beautiful that I can't complain. After giving my hair a good wash and brushing it out, I slept with it in as many little plaits as I could manage. This is what my hair looks like after this routine. Recreating Brea's hairstyle, I started 2 plaits either side of each ear, intertwining them just below the ear for a couple of centimeters before separating them again. I did not attempt the back of her hairstyle. Eyeshadow. I started with a pink base. Brushing lavender shimmer over the lid, I decided to do this under the eye and also a little bit on my nose. A touch of blue shimmer in the corners, and then I applied mascara to my lashes and pink lipstick to my lips, sliding my gelfling ears into place between my plaits. And we're done. My photoshoot location is inspired by the idea of Brea's favourite places. We know she loves the library, but I wanted to imagine a place outside of the city of 𝐻𝐴, the capital of the gelfling world and the largest settlement on 𝐻𝐴. I'm sure that she's sought comfort beyond its borders before. These stones, made smooth and circular by the rushing water of a river, were the deciding factor. Thank you so much for watching. I'm very excited to share some more cosplay diaries with you in 2025.